I've recently completed a self-study course on Vedanta, a real basic introductory course. And it's a question just more geared at sort of how, in a practical world, so like you, Trushar, also my background's chartered, I'm a chartered accountant, but I'm on this sort of yogic journey at the moment. And I'm really interested to know practically, how do you sort of work out that you are the subject, I think, not the object, and because you don't naturally think that way, you're sort of always thinking that I am me, this body is me, my thoughts are me. And after having studied a little bit of Vedanta, and in a practical sense, to become, for me now, it's about becoming a yogi. That's my next journey. So how do you become, how practically can you sort of put that into practice?
Yeah, no, thank you, Anita. It's a good question. Sorry, Nick, I'll just let's just, if I were to use an example, let's say we've got this coronavirus pandemic happening in the world at the moment, and then there's like an objective reality as to what we're seeing in the media or what the biologists are telling us about the sort of protein and how it's impacting us. And then there's the actual, what does it mean for me? What does it mean for me? Where you kind of ask yourself, how does it impact you as a person and your own sort of thoughts and feelings and how you sit with it, and what's your sort of experience of that, almost to the point where it's independent of any external sort of happenings. And then you start sort of seeing patterns where the sort of the lens in the mind, or the vasanas in Vedanta, where a lot of these things are just a projection sort of from within. And then by changing your own sort of lens in your mind, you change the way at which you sort of view the external world. And then as you do that more and more, it's not that person makes me angry or that person makes me upset. It's more, oh, the mind gets angry or upset, or the mind can remain in happiness or contentment or santosha as well. And then you're almost sort of less impacted or fluctuated by external sort of events as well, and unfolding that sort of that sadhak from within. And with a sort of a regular spiritual practice, you know, you almost going to be able to be grounded in that and in yourself as well. And then almost to the point where you could contemplate on who is it that's observing the sort of thoughts and feelings, and the subject itself, ultimately going down to what I think Nick was mentioning about the sort of true self, and then ultimately reaching that sort of sakshi bhava, where you're just a total witness to your realm of awareness. So hopefully that helps, Anita. Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry, Dr. Sutton, did you want to add to that?
Yeah, I think the question is basically, what do I do to realize the truths of Vedanta? I only give two real answers to that. One would be following Shankaracharya's Vedantic view, because Vedanta is based very much on Upanishads and Gita. And Shankara advises that, first of all, you hear the texts, Shravana, then you think about them deeply, Manana, and then finally you absorb them into yourself, Nididhyasana. So that's one thing. I think just learning, listening, reading Upanishads, and not just reading it and then going on, but just taking it away and contemplating it. That's perhaps a little more abstruse, but I think what the Gita says is, first of all, there's karma yoga, and that's more easy to perform. Krishna says, Lokasangraham evapi sampasyan kartamarhasi. Take action on behalf of others. Serve people, feed people, dedicate yourself to people. That becomes your sadhana, which transforms the consciousness away from self-centeredness to a universal consciousness through practical actions in the world, so that karma yoga, action on behalf of others for the well-being of the world, it gradually detaches us from the self-centeredness and expands the consciousness to consider the universal well-being of all. So I think that's a very potent message that comes from the Gita, perhaps a little easier to manage than Shankaracharya's emphasis on realization via the revelation of sacred text.
Oh, thank you. It's really helpful.
When we talk about the Vedanta, Advaita Vedanta, Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithya Jivo Brahmaiva Naparaha. This is the main quotation. We can explain the Advaita Vedanta in the one sentence. And here I would like to mention the Ishavasya Upanishad. So first mantra of the Ishavasya Upanishad is very relevant. And what is the first mantra of the Ishavasya Upanishad? Ishavasyam idam sarvam yen yat kanchit jagatyam jagat tyen takten bunjitha ma gridha kasya sviddharam. So it's a first mantra, and in this first mantra of the Ishavasya Upanishad, what is the meaning of this mantra? Ishavasyam idam sarvam. Whatever is in this universe, there's all things exist in the Ishvara. So Ishvara is the generator, creator of this universe. So Ishavasyam idam sarvam yat kinchit jagatyam jagat tyen taktena bunjitha ma gridasat. So how can we interact with this universe? So with the detachment, not attachment, with the detachment, because this wealth of this universe is nothing. So that's why Advaita Acharya Shankar explained that the universe is created by the avidya, ajnana, you know. So that's why it's not truth. That's why in the Ishavasya Upanishad they are explaining that whatever you want to go into the with the detachment, and the same theory we can find find in the Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so yeah, so we can practice all the practices with this spirit, with the Vedantic philosophy. Then definitely these practices will be more intensive. So again, it's my suggestion to all the sadhakas: practice with the spirituality, with the philosophy. Thank you.